No.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Dio, and I wanted to show you my deck list actually for Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Currently, I've been having the hardest issue right now lately, just dealing with such bullshit decks like Triton, Tri-Brigade, Eldlitch, fucking even Spirals. It's just no, it's not even that. It's just cards that decide to decks that decide to turn the game into, let me see how much I can vomit all over the board and make it impossible for my opponent to do anything at all. And they have to run everything but like hand traps, the gates, all this. I'm just gonna show you what I'm using. If you're eagle-eyed, and if you're pretty eagle-eyed, you'll figure out what I'm talking about. My deck is a for hire deck. You know, it's not really the best. You know, it's not tier 0. It's pretty okay. It can run the runs with like just about anyone else. But we're not gonna like talk too much about like the little monsters, but I can go into a more detailed view about it. I'm going to be talking about this card right here, Deck Lockdown. Neither player can add cards from their deck to their hand except while drawing them. Monsters cannot be special summoned from the main deck. Destroy this card on your second standby phase. This card is phenomenal. I love it. It shuts down a lot of bullshit. Like a lot. It really does. It negates it pretty much stops like cards from just automatically searching cards from their decks, special summoning or adding them to their hand. It slows down their obnoxiousness significantly and allows you to have like some breathing room instead of just having to like, okay, now I have to like deal with a boss monster turn 1 or a boss monster turn 2. Yeah, I haven't even done anything just yet. You know, when you it's like one of those cards that like allows you to like get your field on play, and then it stops them from like some special summoning 40 goddamn monsters all at once. You know, things like Maxi are like, oh yeah, they negate, they discourage that. No, they don't. If you've seen the Maxi challenge, they don't. It literally decks people out. They don't. They don't discourage them. Just use Deck Lockdown. It's at 3. It's pretty damn good. I pair it with Vanity Symphonies. It's something that I've been doing lately, and it's been working out pretty damn well for me. But I will talk about two pair with it. I would say like having effect negation and spell negation. For hire, that's gonna be Wiz and Raphael. Since fire is basically more monsters than anything else, you could just like you have plenty of targets for their effects to discard it. Even the spells that have for hire in their name is perfectly all right when you decide to use this card to negate any nonsense like an Eldritch effect to target and send one card from the graveyard, like from the field to the graveyard. All right, well, you can just use Raphael to negate that. You want that they use skill drain, just use Wiz to negate that. You know, it's not that hard. Once you get established on the field, I would say deck lockdown is best when going going first. So I would say if you do get it and draw it first, then you're pretty much set. You would just want to hit your combo first, then set up, like get your setup, have your boss monster, have your protection on the field, then hit deck lockdown and watch as they like spend a lot of time just trying to figure out like, okay, how am I gonna play? How am I gonna be able to win the game? You know, it's the same thing with Vanity Zipton. So they don't have anything to actually get rid out the card that's already on the field. Then they can't really do much of anything to stop you, or just vomit all over the board. As I said before, it's a good card that balances out the game. And when I see people say that floodgates are like not ideal for the game because the meta decks can play with floodgates, well, that's just, well, if the meta decks were just vomiting everything out on the field, then we wouldn't need floodgates in the first place. But that's just the sort of thing that's a problem that comes with power creep when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! So the argument that floodgates are not vital, or like this should be like not as prevalent as they are, is kind of moot when you have the nonsense that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has become. You know, it's a moot argument. It's pretty goddamn pointless to try to argue that, unless if you can like literally give me a good example why floodgates wouldn't be essential to the game, you know, or say that they shouldn't be as prevalent as they are, because the game just turns into, okay, let me stop you from doing what you're gonna do. Like there should be a limit to like how much nonsense players can do. And I think that sort of thing is what Konami's trying to do by introducing floodgates in the first place. That's just me coming from my standpoint as someone who's played the game for a long time, but I haven't gone to like any actual tournaments because I personally wasn't able to. But I always kept up with the meta trends, things that like shifted the game basically. So I'm kind of knowledgeable on it, but I do take time to listen to more knowledgeable players than myself. And honestly, in my opinion, with how things have progressed so recently, and especially into 2020s, floodgates are essential to the game because of the nonsense that it's become. Other than that, thank you for guys. Oh, no. Other than that, thank you for watching the video. This is actually my first time using my avatar. Not gonna lie, I had so much. This is the first time using my avatar. I had such a hard time just getting my avatar set up, getting the camera set up, getting everything working, and it's been a headache. It's been a real flaming headache. But thank you for watching the video. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next one.